I read, Ken, was about people who attempted suicide in that they were looking for attention. Was that the case with you?
Not for me.
No?
Mine was depression.
Okay.
Mine was I did not feel I belonged. Was not happy with myself. Again, people within our community thought that I was the happy guy, that I was always smiling, and I was smiling.
How old were you?
15.
15 years old.
But the depression had been going on since I was about 13. And that's another thing that people need to understand, that depression is not taboo. It knows no age, it knows no race, it knows no creed, and it affects everybody. And people need to understand it's not taboo to talk about it. It needs to be addressed. It's a real problem.
And other than paying attention, telling parents to pay attention to what's really going on in their children's lives, what else can we say?
Love them, find out what they like, and even though they might not you as a parent might not like it, invest in your child's interests. Show that you care for them. Show them that you want them to go beyond what everyone expects, but help them become their own individuals.
That makes me think of an interesting question when you say that, because so many parents, these days try to force their children into doing things that they wish they have done, as opposed to looking at the interests of the children. Do you see that or hear conversations where kids tell you that they feel unneeded pressures to be something that they don't want to be?
Yes, most definitely. Because, again, within our society, there's always social norms that are so often tried to be forced upon certain groups. Again, I was from a rural, very country community. I was expected to be Joe Bob. And I'm not saying that in a derogatory manner, but I grew up literally on a lake. I was made to run trot lines. I was made to fish, and I didn't like it. But, I would rather be sitting on the bank of the lake with a book in my hand. I had read several plays by Shakespeare by the time I was 14. But again, parents need to understand that their children, particularly at that age, are developing their identity, and it might not fit what they expect, but to nurture that, to love them about it, and support them in that. And that's the big thing, support them. And at the same time, watch with them and make sure that they are developing, because that period of time in a young adolescent's life is hormonal and crazy enough as it is.
And again, social media has a whole lot to do
Yes, ma'am.
with this topic. If you're just joining us, we're talking with the Avoyelles Community and Youth Coalition. Our topic is suicide prevention. We've been talking a lot about kids and teenagers, but Mr. Johnson, this affects everybody, adults as well.
Correct.
For various
Culture.
reasons.
Every culture, every age. The program that I run is Family Needs and Services, and we deal with children from 7 to 18, and with different kind of problems.
Now, I understand that your group has monthly meetings,
Yes.
and everybody's invited?
Anybody's invited. It's the third Tuesday of each month
And where are these meetings held?
at the Paragon Casino.
Yes.
Okay.
We're at Paragon Casino Resort. We host the meetings for the coalition.
All right, and I understand that your group, the Eckert Group,
Yes, ma'am.
and your group has recently moved a new program into our area in the Opelousas area?
Yes, ma'am. They will be covering this region within the state. The company I'm with covers the Sinlaw region, Region 7. I believe the Opelousas we cover in Region 5. And so it's a new pilot program. They're still getting out off the ground. We've already received several referrals and reaching out to the families to help them, get them connected to different kinds of services.
All right, guys, we've got about 5 minutes left,
Yes.
so
Well, Ken, our agencies work hand in hand.
good.
I usually get called into the families, and I do referrals over to his agencies, and different agencies really all over the state. From anger management to suicide to sex abuse, drug abuse, anything that's involving the kids and parents. If I go into a family's home and I feel the parents need some kind of counseling, or they may need food stamps or any kind of services through the state, I refer them to these agencies and give them the information that they need.
And from my standpoint, from being a community member and an activist, but also I represent Paragon Casino and the Tunica Biloxi tribe of Louisiana, because we provide resources so that we can do these great things, whether it's financial backings, meeting spaces, or different leaders within the community to go ahead and speak out at different events to spread awareness. I mean, it's about spreading awareness. A lot of this stuff is kept a secret, and we can't fix things if it's unknown. So that's what we're doing.
Right.
And that's a goal, I think, of all of us, is we've wanted to make sure that people talk to people ask questions, and even though they may be hard questions to ask, I think most of all the families I've ever talked to said, I wish I would have asked before. I wish I would have pushed myself to ask my son or my daughter or my friend, you know, are you so depressed that you've thought about harming yourself? Just any simple but very direct question like that, because oftentimes people who are struggling want someone to notice, and yet
Right.
you can't. And so if you'll just ask people, if they start to seem different and less
Or distant.
and disinterested in things that they used to be interested in, and quieter, or just changing their activities, anything that seems different, I think to take that risk with someone you care about and ask them.
Yeah.
And that's a common question I ask with all the kids I deal with, because they're going through something and you don't know what they're going through, and
Right.
that's the most important thing.
Right.
If you can save their lives, say, are you planning on hurting yourself?
And it was real interesting, the topics that the kids brought up. What were they? Pregnancy?
Yes, drug abuse,
Bullying.
number one, pregnancy, and alcohol. Those are the top three vices that they say they perceive within their youth generation that is a problem. Although the leading death between 15 and 24-year-old is automobile or accidents. Homicide is secondly, and then, of course, drug and other related situations are the top three.
And I think truancy falls all in that, because if you're not in school, you're doing something.
Right.
And then if you're not in school, you fall back in your grades.
And I
then
remember
you
back
fall
in the
into something
day,
else.
we used to have truant officers, but,
Right.
you know, for
Well,
reasons
we're-
unknown.
In our parish, the district court and the DA and the school board, we're trying to work together to solve that problem. Which, like I told you, it's a nationwide thing.
Right.
It's not an easy task to solve.
One more thing I just wanted to add to is dealing with this. See, one of our purposes is spread awareness. I mean, so if we're able not only spread awareness to get the message out, but for our communities to see faces that they represent them. So by us being able to be with you, Porsha, and get this type of information, we can take this and make it public. So even if only 5 people see this video,
Right.
that's 5 more people we will affect than
Right.
prior to.
Right. Correct.
Well, I am so glad that each and every one of you came. If you need to attend a meeting for this coalition, you can do so. I'm reading here that there are support groups for veterans, and just travel, make a trip to Paragon Casino. What day?
Every third Tuesday of the month.
Third Tuesday of the month
Right.
at 6 p.m.
At 12 noon.
At 12 noon.
12 to 1.
Yeah, they can call the Paragon Casino 800 number,
And
ask for
find
Lonnie
out.
Bridges.
All right.
Correct.
All right. Thank each and every one of you for coming
You're welcome.
and
Thank
sharing, and God bless each and every one. You know, I did want to say that, you know, we've all heard or know the cliche about suicide, not cliche, but what the Bible says about suicide.
Correct.
And that is a sin that's not forgiven. I've heard that all my life.
Well, I think that we have a forgiving God, and He look at the reasons that why a person did it.
Right.
That's
And
what I think.
there has been instances where someone's medicine has affected and had a chemical
Correct.
reaction.
Correct. Right.
And it's not intentional. We
Yeah.
can't just take a gray matter and say it's black or white.
Correct.
But I think it's the other reason why we want everybody to speak to people from the congregational, denominational, religious sector, to just
Yes.
take that step into taking a risk with maybe some of the clergy staff, because people want to get help.
Right.
People do not want to be depressed or kill themselves. It's just they don't see many other options at that point. And so if all of us in the community can get involved at every level and do that, it's great.
All right. Thank you all for coming. Thank you for being here, and we'll be back again next week
Bam.
with another topic and something else. I'm Porsha Evans. You be blessed. Happy holidays, and bye-bye.